Okay. What are OOPS concepts? Very basic question. Wherever you go, all interviewers will be asking this question. Very easy, very trendy. Tell me about OOPS concepts. So start with the class. Second one, object. And then encapsulation. Uh, Fourth one, abstraction. Fifth one, polymorphism. Sixth one, inheritance. What is a class? So far, as I mentioned, class is a collection of data members and member functions. Person is a class, right? Here we define data members and member functions, instance methods. These are called like person class. That's the definition of a class. Class is a collection of data members and member functions. And then what is an object? Instance of a class is called an object. This will be created using new keyword. How we are creating person class instance other than we call object. Here we've created, right? This is an example of object. Okay. So encapsulation, as per the definition, it is let's say here you have a person class, right? We did not put any access specifier. If you go to app.java, here you can say person unblock uncomment this one person dot. You see, you able to access data members, right? Encapsulation means disabling this capability. Let's say if I put this as a private and private, now save it, and now you see here person space, do you see height and the name you're not able to access outside of this class. Means like using the object instance of a class, you'll not be able to access. That is what it is. That's what we call encapsulation. Wrapping up of data under a single unit or hiding the shielding the data members without getting access outside of its own class. If it is a private, we will only able to access within this class. If you want to pass anything, you have to pass through the constructor. Then only these values will be modified. Outside of the class, you'll not be able to access this one. So encapsulation is to wrapping of data under a single unit. Or you can say it is a protective shield that prevents data from being accessed by the code outside of class or shield, you can say, outside of this shield or class, you can say. Okay, that is called encapsulation. Abstraction is wrapping up of data and data members together and access. That is called the abstraction. Or so abstraction will hide the, simply it will hide the details of the implementation. Abstraction. For example, let's say in a day-to-day life, we use cars, we use electronics, we are using laptop. How internal system, let's say your screen is displaying some data. How that data or screen is displaying something when you do air display or mirroring your screen on another desktop, how that ecosystem is working under the hood, we don't know, right? We only see tapping on this, it works this way. Or when, if you are using a car, if you tap on accelerator, sorry, if you press on accelerator, car will get more acceleration, means like that speed will increase, right? Under the hood, what is where it connected, how wheels are taking this to make more rotations, right, or more turns per minute or per second, all that mechanism we don't know outside. That is what it's called abstraction. Abstraction is hiding the details of the implementation. It is just exposing the methods. For example, here, this a display function, we wrote this logic. We don't know what this method is having. Or another way, predefined functions, math.power or math.square root. In a simple way, math.square root, what this function is doing internally, how this is calculating the square root and what it is returning a value, square root of 3 or square root of 16, how that logic has been implemented, we don't know. What we know, we are just consuming this value and pass the parameter, we'll get the value. That's only we know, right? It is not letting us know implementation details. That's called the abstraction. And then we'll get into polymorphism. Polymorphism are two types: compile time polymorphism and another one is compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. What is a compile time polymorphism? Means like now we are writing some program, right? This is called compile time. When you tap on here run, that's called runtime. Runtime in like dynamically when program is executing something, all instructions, that is what it is called runtime. At the execution time. Compile time means like when we are simply typing the program, that is called compile time. Polymorphism, two types of a polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism is overloading concept, and runtime polymorphism is overriding. Compile time means overloading. Example is overloading, and runtime example is overriding. So runtime polymorphism example, we will see part of inheritance, whereas a compile time is, we can see overloading methods in the same class. Let's say we have a display function here, right? If I take the same method and put here, what it is saying, duplicate method display in type person, means like it's already there. You are defining a duplicated method. So this compile time error we can see. If I if I want to use the same method and pass string name, see, this is overloading, means everything is the same, only parameters are different. If I want to say same method syntax and pass another variable, int height, right? This is overloading. This is all happening compile time, right? As I'm compiling program, let's say if I'm taking this out, program is compilation time, this overloading is throwing an error. If I put this one, this is overloading. This is the method overloading concept. Same method syntax will take place, only parameters are different. That is called overloading. Let's say if I take this method and put here and change this to integer type, return type, and return some sample integer, what it is saying, duplicate method display already defined, and change string name, a duplicated method is already defined, and say string height. Is it complaining? No. That's how overloading compilation time it works. Okay. Overloading. In overriding concept, we will talk in the inheritance. Okay. What is an inheritance? So far we've seen only single class, right? What I'll do, I'll create another class here. Create a parent.java class parent, and I'll put a method here, define some method public, void sample func. I'm just defining a random thing. System dot out dot println this method from parent class, right? And I'll create another class here, public class child. Okay, let's say class child. Okay,